Right, welcome to hopefully the last installment of this series. So let me just switch to this deck real quick. Go for the epic section. Right, and now hopefully today will be the way to finish the tier list. Now take note that some of the cards here have been changed during the making of this tier list. So now I will quickly reiterate some of their placement. Also, how much I got 0. So first of all, where is he? Right. Now, Quan Umber held the Crown Pleaser and have a completely new ability. 1,000, 2 white, 2 red, 2 green, 2 yellow. 1,400 HP, 400 power. Haste. Cast only if your deck has 2 or fewer Glads and no duplicates. After this card attacks, each player destroy a card in their hand. You summons a 3/3 fanboy, then lose 300 life. Search your deck for a Glad. So now, this thing is a hand destroy engine. It still wouldn't be a great, like, an absolutely great card, but it's a much more worthwhile card now. Because first, I was still glad, and losing 300 life each time is okay. It's not like the biggest downside in the world, but eventually you may run out of life, and due to the fact you play a glad 3-color deck, you may have to take a lot of heat in the beginning, and the fact you may go down to a pretty dangerous amount of life is there. But then again, now you could also combine it with lobster, rack jumper, things like that. It's on attack, so every turn you can do this. And in fact, that now we have it because it's itself have decent stats. It's actually one of the better glads now, because it paid the card you lost in the 3/3 fan in the form of the 3/3 fanboy, which granted isn't the card with the biggest stat in the world, but it works. And because of that, Quan Umber Hollow go from Dome to Do, aka I think he's viable. He's probably like one of the most viable Glad now. Probably more viable than all these Glads, but less viable than Kanai. Well, probably better than actual Serena. More viable than him. More viable than Dignity. More viable than that. Less viable than that. Yeah. So yeah. Quad Number Hollow is a good card now. Very interesting. The next placement changes will be down the line, so we didn't need to worry about him yet. Wait, is he here though? Yeah, he isn't here. Fine. Okay. Next card, God's Galaxy. So this is a silver bullet type card. What that means is, it's made to counter a thing, something. In this case, it's made to counter. Wait a minute. Where I need? Okay, there's Hoshpop. Okay, it made to counter tokens. So 1 white, 7 red, 1,200, 400 HP. Okay stat. It's not the biggest in the world, but it's acceptable. When the fire is cast, destroy all tokens fire. So what are the big things here? Well, you could destroy Doge deck pretty easily. This will nearly wipe out all of your opponent's Ultras. I mean, it will, except for the legendary Ultras. So yeah, it have that. So it is like the one card that like really good at doing something, but for the rest of the other matchups, it just falls short because due to its lackluster stats. And the fact it's an epic make it so that even if you run this and you meet the right matchup, you might not even win, because it takes time to generate 7 red and get this out of your hand. Like, get this into your hand to even cast it. So that being said, I think it's just an okay card. It doesn't need buff, but I would to see a buff for it. I would like to see a buff for it. How though? I don't know. It's an okay card. It's probably better than Fushai. Probably better than him. Probably better than Epic Duck. That probably less than Dennis. So that being said, he's going down here. Okay, next, a blue epic card. This is a wipe type card. Grey Goose scenario. 3 white, 6 blue. Cast only their 2 morphic cards. Wait. Wrong card. Okay. the Shadow Realm. One white, still white type card by the way. One white, 6 blue. Return on Nightmare Fire to their owner share. Now the funny thing about this, you don't even need to run Nightmare in order to this people. If you run Nightmare, this will be a good synergy. Like it will be a because Nightmare field clocks their hand, and then you return everything to their opponent's hand. So now it destroys those cards instead of, you know, give your opponent a chance to play them back. There's that, and the most important thing is also stall you the turn for Nightmare, because Nightmare have themselves doesn't have that good of stats. Of course, you made a mirror matchups like a Nightmare, or you just against Nightmare in general while using this card is probably be a bit useless, but but the thing is, you don't even need to run Nightmares in order to play this, because it's just run this in mono blue and you will get some wipe, man. Like return everything to your opponent's hand is okay, it's good. It's sometimes be a backfire you, but still something that's nice. But the thing is also return your guys to your hand, and blue have a pretty decent amount of uncast, so it's pretty powerful and play again. So with that, this thing actually one of the better cards in my opinion. And for that said, I put it in a good card. It's probably better than what I call it, than Desperate Measure. It's a Desperate Alliance. So I can put it. It's a good card. People should run it more in mono blue deck or Nightmare decks in general. It's just probably better than Mataton and probably better than Bloated, but probably worse than Cheap Justice. So that's now next thing. There's that. So now this thing. Cast only if there are 2 Morphic cards in your base play. Non-goo fire lose to 800 power. Summon 4 Morphic goos. So this is like a very situational wipe card. But due to its newly added buff, the fact that you need to discard 2 Morphic cards in your deck to get this amazing 800 power wipe, and then you summon 4 50-50 guys, is okay, acceptable, because your opponent probably have like 0 to like a few 100 attack, so that you can, those actually may come in useful. So now you only need to run like 7 or 8 or 4 even Morphic Goons to to sacrifice those like slots to get this. Is pretty good. And that being said, it's a good card now. It's probably the bottom of the good card horde, but actually it's yeah, it's just better. It's viable. Next we have also another good card. Is somewhat of a finish, a late game card. Hollow Adjusticator, 8 white, 8/8. When cards cast or when dies, each play gain 3 color stats. So now you look at the stats and then you look at the ability, you may be like, huh, this card is a bit of a bloody waste, isn't it? Because first of all, it gained your opponent 3 white stud, which new players don't usually get this, but white stud is actually like the single best stud in this game, so that you can play more fighters, and with that, you can also answer his card and then gain another 3 white studs. So there's a downside there. But thing is, if you're losing and your opponent is winning, the 3 white studs may not even affect them that much because they're winning. Like the white stud just there to show how much they're winning anyways. And then you gain 3, and when it dies you gain 3. And then in fact, like, you also have an 8/8 on the field for 8 yellow, which is yellow's like a ram fast color anyway. So yeah, it's a good card, but there's a few things that hold drawback. It's probably it's a good card, don't get me wrong, but probably worse than Tick Scott. So I'm gonna put it there. Actually, it's a high, and yeah, yep, it's there. It's a good card. We're speed running though. Okay, next is a very sad card. Have 4 white, 4 green. Has the hero, aka Brigibra, aka Artist, aka Laser Cat. Just kidding. 800 health, 600 power, horrible stats. That's pretty bad for a card that costs 4 white, 4 green. Haste, so now it's less horrible, and whenever an effect target this card resets stat, unlock it, return to its ownership. So now, okay, it's a haste, right? Yeah, that's good because it's a 600 bread. So that's giving green some sort of like huge bread already. But thing is, its ability, it doesn't have a refund. It doesn't need a refund to be like good, but it should have one. The refund, you're spending 4 white in this card. That's all. You're spending a lot of whites on this card. And when your opponent targeted, they can even like backfire at you by just targeting this, return to your hand, and hit your face. Like your also just has targeted and doesn't fucking worry about it anytime soon. Because you okay, actually I take it back, but yeah, they can target it and they hit your face. So that's somewhat a backfire situation. It's an okay card. Like it's okay. Just need buff. It's not bad, but it needs buff. Again, it's like God's Galaxy, and all of the cards is okay. They isn't bad. They aren't bad, but it needs buff. And Breaker Bro probably one of the biggest candidate for one that needs buffs. So I'm gonna put him in the bottom of okay tier, cause yeah, I think he deserve it. Next we got Heyday Bug. Another sad card. Sadly, Heyday Bug used to be an amazing card when it built both his power and his health. That's good. Now it's only built his power in the with a white that cost 7 white, 2 yellow. First of all, that's a horrific amount of icons to a card that only do 1,003 that only have 1,300 HP and 300 power technically, and with haste. Now only when the card attacks. So if you're you play this, you do 300 red or something. This guy also take counter attack damage, and then it's your opponent's turn, and then all they do is like, oh, so you have a good card in the field. Well, they just attack everything to this guy, cause he only have 300 power. It's not like they've lost that much anyway. He only have 300 power to be able to counter back. Wait, give me a second. So that it doesn't even affect him that much, and don't affect your opponent that much. Because 300 damage is okay. It's damage, sure, but it's not like to a point where it's insane, you know. And plus, with a high cost card, this card, he kind of needs a buff. I mean, he's probably better than Has a Hero and all of these cards. He's probably better than Indio. I mean, he's worse than Indigo, but I think he just needs buff, man. That's all easy. Next, oh, this guy's underrated. Underrated because it's too expensive, to be honest. Next, we got Heroes. 3 white, 6 blue, 700 health, 100 power. Horrible stats. The stat to cost ratio of this card is actually kind of ridiculous, in the terms that it's horrible, bad. Just there's nothing about it. It's very bad. Now, when you cast summon a card that is a clone of target ally fighter, so you need a good ally fighter to be targeted, and then return that fighter to its owner's hand. So, what comes to your mind when you're using this card is that just good cards. Like, you can actually justify summoning Fabulous Bench, because although it's a lot of icon to replay back, it's 300 power, D power at the end of turn, spread across 2 fighters. And that's pretty amazing. Like, that's actually a very funny thing to happen. But the biggest drawback is his cost. His stats is there. It's okay, but his cost is a lot. So he's not a bad card. He's just very expensive in what he do. But again, I do use him, and success are a lot. So that being said, I think he's here. Actually, he's here. Yeah, he's better than Deathman probably, but it's probably not as good as X-Toy. X-Toy is like a insured version of this guy, to be honest. Cause well, it's not insured, but X-Toy is more versatile to me. To be honest, yeah, okay, they're kind of the same. Fine. Next we have a Glad to Butcher. 2 white, 3 green, 3 blue, 3,000 HP, 100 power. The static cost ratio is okay. The fact that he have 3,000 HP really just make him a kind of beast if you give him power buff, cause you know any power buff make him scary, cause he have 3,000 HP and then you swap his stats and attack with him to face and they deal 3,000 damage. Like there's nothing could go wrong with this guy, right? Oh, let's see, he's a Glad. So guys, only you have 2 of your Gaia and no duplicates. Whenever you gain life, search your deck for a Gladiator. Give yourself 2 3/3 Toddlings. Now luckily I have the Toddlings here as token cards. Could I get them somehow? So Toddlings are 1 white, 1 green, 1 blue, inert in all zones. Wait a minute. Load, please load. Yep, okay, they load. Wait. Let me just check something. Oh, yes, okay. inner ozone, so it won't generate water and fuel, and it also won't generate from this card. And when your opponent casts a fire, if they cast another fire this turn, you gain 400 life. So you might think this is a life gain class. So interesting. The thing is, why would you ever make a life gain Highlander deck? Like Highlander by themselves aren't even that good, and then you're making Highlander life gain. It's not good. These type of class should not exist, or like have a better capacity of actually finishing their job, because this is not a good idea to run in a glass. He will survive. He probably better than a Geomancer. Oh, what the fuck? The Geomancer. Wait, when the fuck does the Geomancer do 500 damage? Wait, when does the Geo do 500 damage? Hold on. Holy shit, now she have stats, man. She's still a bad glad, but that's stats. Do the same for Epic though. 1500 HP, 500 power. Do it. Okay, next. Man, Geo's big. Okay, fine. Okay, Castle, same thing. So, what are you gonna do with him? Well, sad to say, but it's kind of the same thing as Galach right here. That you're actually using for its effect. You're using for stats. Like 3000 HP is a lot. Just give him like 1 or 2 power buff, and he's become a monster. And the throttling there is okay, like if somehow you do trigger life, because in blue and green Highlander you sometimes will run like a random life gain card, like good life gain card, like TZ Sora or something like that. So there's that. But the fact he's a 3000 HP, 100 power card really just justifies whatever he's trying to do with this guy. Just power buff him and he's become a monster. You can't even make OTK with this guy. Like as long as you swap him, which is a bit hard, I don't recommend it. But on the way that I play this card that's effective, I just see it as a freaking stat card, man, and because of that, a gold is lower than Galach, but it's viable because the stats is huge. Galach's still better because he's had that damage immune and overall better stats. Oh, not better stats, okayer stats. So that being said, he going to the viable tier. Next, we have another good card. I mean, not another good card like the last card. The Heroes isn't even that good of a card, but another very solid card. A card that's solid, fine. Yeah, that works. We have Hushpop. Very simple. 4 red, 4 yellow, 1200 HP, 1200 power. I used to make this joke in the Discord where I think Hushpop is like one of the worst cards in the game. Actually, because I guess I hold my point, I would just put him like here instantly. So now, because let me just explain. Now, 1200 HP, 1200 power is a pretty huge amount for this cost. He used to be a legendary, by the way, like with 50 extra health and power, and he used to have haste with 1200 health and power, and then when he was like OPS 4. But now that's the thing. I used to make this joke where Hushpop is a bad card in the Discord because he dies to 3 Emblem B, and then people ask why, and it's like, well, Hushpop is an epic card, and Emblem B is a common card. You kill 3 of their worthless minion, and you trade for 1 of your worthy minions. Now that's the thing about Hushpop. He dies to like he has so much power but no resistance. He dies to a lot of bullshit a lot of time. And realistically, I would put him as a good card, but because I don't just hate the way they balance this card, like give him his 50 HP and 50 power back, and I will believe that this card is good. But due to he doesn't have that now, you may don't know what I'm talking about, but you will later. I'll just put him here. Don't ask why. Yeah, he deserved it. Give him a 50 HP and power back. He lose though 50 HP and 50 power because he gained haste, and now when you remove the haste from him, you don't give him back the stats. Why? Just give him back what he used to have, man. Okay, now we move to another sad card. There's a lot of sad cards. Imagine so 8 white, 1250 HP, 250 power. So that's okay-ish tanky stat. Now look at his effect. His effect is very simple. When you die, give yourself 3 powerful monstrium fires. So the monstrium fires. Let's, what the fuck? Wait. Let's just go to wiki. No, Blox Card. Huh? Okay. So now we go to the monstrium fire. What the hell, my lord? Imagine so. Okay. So the monstrium fires are these following: 4 white, 4 green, 5/5. When it starts cats, they lose 200 power. It's probably the best one. This one's horrible, and this one's okay. So 8 red, 8/8 attacks. Your opponent lose 600 life. Okay. 1/5 end of turn. Summon 150 zombie. These zombie won't unlock your opponent. These zombie is just normal zombie. It's just vanilla. That when they die, when they attack and destroy another, you gain. They summon another copy of them, and all zombies gain 100 health and power. Cool. So this card may seem good on the surface, but then you realize, oh, wait, he's not that good. Why? Because you're playing green and red. This is almost widely accepted that RG red green is the worst dual color in the game. And now reaching 8 red, 8 green with that number is hard. And discarding them will make them even better, because that would just be a waste of 8 white you play with this guy, and he only trigger when he dies. So there's weighted intercept that on death effect too. And with that being said, imagine so needs buff. He probably needs buff. He's probably better than all of these, so yeah. In C tier, he needs a buff. Next, we have an infinite card, the infinite cycle. So now it's that I go just do this and then try infinite. Alright. What the never mind. I will just go to epic again. Epic infinite. Yeah, works. Okay, fine. Okay, let's go. Infinite chicken. Cast only 3 after exactly 3 yellow stud. The target for getting that. You give yourself a copy of this card. This card is good. There's nothing much to say about it. It's just a very good card. It's probably like one of the better, better yellow, better infinite card, because it do reward you a decent amount. Like that's 300 total stats, and then it give reaching 3 yellow each turn with yellow isn't that hard, because the amount of steam you have to play with yellow is actually a pretty like usually put you into that threshold. So with that being said, I think he's a viable card. It's a viable card. It's not a good card by any means. So it's probably less viable than that, less viable than that, less than that, less than that, less than Quan, better than Quan, honestly. So yeah, you will take Quan's place. Let's go. Okay, next we have Infinite Frost. This card used to be good, but now it's kind of trash. Cast when you have exactly 3 blue stud. Draw a card. Give yourself a copy of this card. Right. So you draw a card. Yay. For 3 blue stud. And you have exactly 3 blue stud to even cast this. When it used to give you that Moon Leak, it's actually been good, but now forget about it. It needs buff. Probably worse than Chosen Coast and Dicey Dave, to be honest. Actually better than Dicey Dave, better than Chosen Coast, but probably worse than Imagine. Better than Imagines though, but yeah, it's down there. It's not that bad. It's not really that good. Next, Infinite Flames. Also a pretty bad card. Do 300 damage to a fighter. Do 300 damage to a target fighter. Give yourself a copy of this card. Yay. You have 3 red stud. Okay. Exactly 3 red stud. Fuck. That just... this thing just is also neat, but probably worse than that. So it worse than freaking Chosen Coast, to be honest. Or it's better, yeah. is worse than Chosen Chaos. It's down there. Actually, for Quinty, yeah, just okay. Next, you have this. Infinite Wishes. Cast only. You have exactly 2 green slots. You gain 600 life. Put copy this card into your base play. Now this a good card. This is like one of the best ram green card in this meta right now. You just spend 2 green. Very easy to get because this is green. And then, well, you get 600 life, which probably gonna be nerfed down to 200 pretty soon because Steve hates good cards. Actually, is it Steve who? Yeah, wait. Huh. Cool. Is it Steve who like suggests? Yeah, it's Steve. Cause Steve don't like cards that give stall. Nobody like card that give stall. I do. So now, with that being said, it's a good card. It's gonna get nerfed soon. So its nerf version will probably be here. I mean, better than cheap just to, yeah, here. But it's right now. It's still a good card. So it go all the way up to here. Trust me, it does make me mad. Well, actually, it's still probably gonna be here. Like after the nerf, it will probably be here. Yeah, but now it's be here. It will be here. Okay, next. We finished with Infinite Cycle. Now we go back to the Epic Cycle. Yay. We have. Well, I can only assume a control card in a fast color. Oh boy, where is he? What the hell, man? He just fucking disappeared. Insane Isaac. 1 white, 2 red, 2 yellow. 950 HP, 50 power. Okay? And next we got this really weird ass ability of doing a set of 3 fight with the lowest health. It's good, but like for the color he belongs to is not really that fitting. Like what you can do with this card, you can do a funny divine favor. Okay, it's not even that bad because he only costs very cheap in like 1 white. That's okay, but that's not preferable, and you can just end turn, make him do his thing. So he's not the best, but he's also not like the single worst card in the world. He's viable. He's not okay. He's very viable. He's not good. So with that being said, I think he is down here. Probably better than him. Probably not better than any of the Glads. Like, well, he's probably better than all the Glads, but stop there. So yeah, Insane Isaac, you could go there. B+. Next, we have a pretty decent card. And we have Jack of Most Trade. 1 white, 4 yellow, 150 500 HP, 1500 power. Very big stats. Whenever this card attacks, your opponent gains 2 color stats. So it's a downside card. Yeah? And with the downside of pretty negligible downside. Giving your opponent 2 white stats is not game breaking or anything. And it's a very good option in aggro deck. The thing is, I just wonder why this is used a lot, but for only 2 whites more, 3 whites more, I can see why. You get Zack Attack, which, to be honest, is a better card overall, stats-wise, but I guess it isn't that fast. So let's go right here. Unless it isn't because it isn't as fast, I could give it a pass, so it's a good card in aggro, but it's probably not better than Fabulous Metaton anytime soon. Metaton is underrated, to be honest. Like, he's there, but he's probably better than Bloated, better than worse than Tick's God, or better than Tick's God. Well, it's better than Tick's God, but worse than this guy right here, and this guy probably better than Combine. So yeah. Oh, then this guy move up because Combine is the worst card in the game. Okay, next, yeah, good cards. He's good in aggro. Next, we got a card that will probably be dead soon, but you know, people just hate combo decks. But for now, Jack Cack. 3 white, 6 blue, 3000 HP, 0 power. Whenever you cast an action, shuffle up. Oh wait, it's dead now. Oh shit, man, Jack is not dead. Oh, I thought he isn't gonna change it yet. No, he's dead. Shuffle blue red action card in your deck, draw a card. Well, you know what they say. It's just so sad. Wow, he's instantly dead. I was gonna put him in S tier. Like honestly, he's an S tier card, but now, mate, after the nerf, mate, he's crap, man. Wow, this thing's sad. Go. Oh, he's not dull. It's like you can still use him, but bad now. Probably in a Kodo Cordy. It's probably in Burbis and probably worse than Hoshpub. Yeah, you could go here. Yeah, wait, let me just change the position of this real quick. Yep. Yeah. Okay, such sad, man. Mate, Steve, why are you gonna make vote that everyone will vote yes because they see it as a blue or green card? They see a blue or green card that is anything that is good card related, stall related, or anything like that, and they vote yes. This community is just so funny, man. They just hate LTKs, they hate control decks, they hate everything that makes me fun. Makes me entertaining. Like, this is just so sad. Okay, fine, we have to move up. Jackass is dead. GG. Good job, Steve. It is Steve who voted that, right? It is Steve who made that. Yeah, Jackass. Yeah, see, I disagree. Okay, next we have Chiminin 1. Sure bad. He's a bad card. Please, he's not a don't card. He definitely used him, but it's probably not that good of one. I would argue he's worse than Rack Jumper right here. So let's see. 4 white, 3 yellow, 3 green, 1,200 HP, 400 power. When it's fighter attacks, the fighter that was attacked loses 400 power. Then lock this fire for an additional 2 turns. So on the first attack, this card is amazing. On the second attack, oh, it's locked, so your opponent can do anything about it. That's all. And you're playing green, so do you really want to tower this motherfucker? Anyways, let's move on. Look at Joe Dev right here. Hey, Joe Dev. Pretty good card. 3 white. Shit, man. 3 yellow. 2,200 HP. During your end step, 0 power. During your end step, destroy all fire with health greater than this card. This card loses 200 health. Funny combo right here. Not Divine Favor. Target this thing with something like I don't know. Set. We need some set here. Set. You would use Sips with it, and then Sip would just die, which is chat. You could use what it call yeah, this thing, Deer Blessing, and well, a lot of things would die. So yeah, we have that. We also have Mustang combo with that, also good. This is just like one of those cards that just not fit into his color, but is a good card otherwise. So with that, it's a good card, but it's not A, of course. It would just be viable. Probably less viable than all these. Yeah, B. Next we have Swarm card. Really? Not really a Swarm card. Oh, it's a okay card. John Doe, and Jane Doe. So John Doe is this card that's good because it's a 2/3 that when it's locked, aka when it's summoned, your opponent loses 400 life. That's a lot of burn potential. And Jane Doe is that stupid card that when it's locked, aka when it's played, it destroys a card in your hand and you draw a card. And for 1 white, 2, 3 yellow, you get off of both of those. So sure or bad, this card is pretty good. You can use funny lock effects with it, and then it burns, and it's also destroy your hand. Which I think this should just change the ability into something else, because I don't really like cards that destroy your. I almost like religiously try to kill Jane Doe, but keep John Doe alive at all costs. Because John Doe is such an amazing card, and Jane Doe is just such a sad ass card. But that is a viable card. Probably better than Burning Phoenix. Probably better than that. Probably better than Deathman. Actually, worse than Deathman. Worse than that. So with that being said, I think it's worse than only Enrich here. Fellow Enrich Nutritious. Holy crap! We still got a lot of cards to go. Right. Oh. Next, we have Blox Death Keeper. Blox Death Keeper is a situationally good card, and it's always have been. It's a 5 white 1 blue, so to a degree, is a starter card if you go after. And 800 HP from your power, okay stats. When your effects target a card for a first or second type turn, summon a 1/4/2 core box skeleton. And the core box skeleton is this very funny card right here. It's a core box card, of course. That's when for 1 blue, you use a 8/4/2 whenever you cast a core box or target fire gain 100 health, deal 200 damage to this. So you could infinitely get target with this guy, kinda technically is. So that's a pretty funny thing to have, and yeah, it's just a pretty good card. I mean, there's nothing much to say about him. I don't play core box much, but he's probably he's probably a good card to this one, but he's not like to the degree. Oh my god. Yeah, he's not to the degree these card owns. Now, he's very down here. It's very the best. So yeah, I'll have your place there, Blox Death Keeper. You're probably worse than John Doe though. John Death though. Next, God. Right. Because arrays isn't a really things yet, it isn't really a finished things yet, so I can't really rate Elite Wizard fair. 1 white, 2 red. What the fuck, man? Well, 2 red, 2 blue, 5, 3. When it's your cat, give yourself 3 array cards. Array cards are interesting. Some of them are really busted and good, and some just bad. So it's not like you draw 3 cards, you give yourself 3 random action cards. Array cards are all action cards. Now look at this. It's an okay card. I mean, it's kind of like a must use in RB because it's so cheap for its stats and it gives yourself options in that deck. So because of that, I give him a viable. I can't really rate him fair because arrays haven't even been finished yet. So I will put him down here, just in case. He's a good card. We'll leave it at that. Next, we got Liwa. Liwa is an underrated card. I mean, if it survives, it do a lot of damage. If it don't, then it's still okay. It's not bad. The thing is, Liwa also suffered from the brain, a mind game thing that when your opponent control Liwa and you control no fighters, you shouldn't play any fighters, to be honest, because then they can't attack with Liwa, and they do it, and one of their guys must take 250 bread, and that's good. But if they start playing more fighters, that's kind of bad. You start playing fighters too, right? Yeah, you should. So 3 white, 3 red, 1000 HP, 250 power. So it's not the best thing that can survive, but after this card attack, it deals 250 damage to a target fire. So that's a pretty good ability. So it's technically a 1000 HP, 500 power. You know what was have that thing? Blazer C. Yes, your damage may not be spread, but it's still a lot more consistent. 3 white is a lot for red, and this then Blazer C. I think Blazer C is kind of like a better option, to be honest. But Lee was also a good card, and because he's so underused, I think he's also underrated to a degree. Oh my god, I would rate Lee Wall a okay card. I would put him here. Then he's probably in Rubik. Yeah, he's there. Oh my god, no cards I get S tier. Wait. What's this? We have a contender for S tier right here, my friend. This card is seriously a beauty of a card. Right. Let's toss Zinamon. 2 white, 4 blue. Cheap enough. Not too expensive, cheap enough. 800 HP, 400 power, okay stat to cost ratio. When this card is cast, a target fighter loses 150 power and lock it for 1 turn. This card used to have 1000 HP. Oh my god. It was so good back then. And now, after its nerf, quite frankly, it's still one of the best blue card to run in every single blue deck. If you can have slot, you should run Lost System on, because it's such a consistent lock the power stats tool that blue always love. There is reason not to use Lost System on, unlike gods, but he's such a consistently good and amazing card. So that's like loses like the ability is that simple. Like lock it for 1 turn, so the stall ability is so good, and then it also loses for 150 power, and even then you get even good stats. Just oh wait, just take the S tier, man. You deserve it. Huh. Right, my dad just sent me something, so we will see it not now. Okay, next we have Living World. Terranian still isn't good. After all the changes they have, this still isn't the best thing in the world. 3 white to animate one is pretty fair because they pretty much have like the biggest stat in the world, and if stealth, so in case shitty things happen. But to be honest, Terranian is still not good, and so is this card. That being said, though, it's probably worse than Glad only. Built into a game, still the worst viable card. So we put him there. There is nothing much else to rate here. To say, Laris. No lead or transform, or else this card is very much easy to play, easy to counter. I mean, you pull that off, and this card is amazing. But because of that, it's just an okay card. It's probably on top of the yes, yep, it's okay. It goes there. Okay, next. Right. So anyone who knows me will know that I always run Lobster. Even after the nerf, I still consider Lobster to be one of the quintessential board wipe in the game. People play around Lobster, but not everyone can play around Lobster. That's the difference. So now, if they play around Lobster, they can't afford to kill you. They cannot afford to hit your face until they have enough damage to destroy that 1,500 left. Which, granted, isn't hard, but it's very much also a pity and a stall tool. It's a red stall tool, is any color stall tool, and if your opponent plays around it, you may even get a chance to come back. And there's a way to activate it by yourself. Use Pixel Flame to damage yourself to get this. It's overall a pretty decent card, and like it have one of the best mind game potential in the game, and it's because I like it. This is why I like it so much. It's like you may not have a lobster in hand, but if you act like you do, your opponent may like not even attack you, and sometimes even they do. Well, then you're dead. But if they don't, then you also have a few cards in your. Then you could start like building up a board against them and come back from there. So that being said, this is just a very amazing card. There is a way to counter it, and also an amazing mind game tool. And because of that, I'll gladly put it high A. Always been a good card. Okay, next we have this interesting piece of shit right here. We got this Luna thing. Where is it? Huh? Ah, there you go. Lunar Banishment. Return all epic legendary share. Summon a 1/1 that prevent the casting of epic legendary cards. Deal 50 damage to all fighters. That deal 50 damage to all fighters is A, to trigger the to trigger this guy, because if this card would take effect damage, prevent it instead until each player next step. You can't cast epic of what the fuck, right? And this like what? Wow, there's 4 people make the art for this guy. Damn, VIP, man. So is it a good card? Well, it used to be a very overpowered card. I grant that, but nowadays it's okay. I mean, Luna has fallen a lot shorter, but it's still an okay card, and because of that, I put it. It still ruined your opponent's strategy, like sometimes, but it's not like the best card in the world in any circumstances. And because of that, I would just put it above Glads. There's nothing much for you to do with it, and even then, wow, I want to finish this tier list so much. Okay, let's speed run. Next, go Lunar. Lunar. 4 white, one of each color, 6 says during next give yourself onto the art card. Nothing here. That's a very okay red give, but it's still technically a meme card to this day. It's a fun card, but it's not like very viable in any circumstances. Like you're playing 3 color, and yeah, you can. But that being said, it isn't bad. It's okay. But there. Okay, next, got Mass Epidemic. Aha, this card is funny. Okay, first of all, put color into owner's base plate. Well, remove on death. No fighters are immune to this. Wait, is it? Damage, weaken, heal, empower, transform. Yeah, no fighters are immune to this. And for 4 white, 6 green, which is definitely takeable and definitely acquirable, you get a pure destructive board white. This is a good card. Like, this is one of the better cards in the game, and one of the better board whites in the game. It's not quintessential in my opinion, like Lobster is, but it's definitely good in its own right. And only put color fighters, which yeah is like most of the time it will kill your opponent, but there are some decks slash matchup that you will be pretty weak with this card in hand, because Hero, for example, that they have a lot of good white cards. Ultra is also a thing, but then again, those are few and far between. I mean, said, good card. Man, it's probably wearing Bandit's Warehouse, but probably worse than this. There, it go up there with its glorious might. Okay, next we got Smiley. Is this card even necessary anymore? I mean, it's a good stat card, but stat won't do you any good if you're yourself. It's not shit. It's just kind of shit. Just like, yeah, he gen white. Just go and use Firebrand, man. He's not that good anymore. He's okay. Probably one of the top tier okay card. So that being said, I will put him here. This is still probably the best okay card, to be honest. Okay, next we got Michael P. First look, this may look like a meme card, and of course it isn't. 1 white, 1 red, 800 HP, 0 power, summon a Lazus. This guy Lazus is different from the Lazus your opponent are forced to summon from Unspeakable Summoning, because that Lazus make you lose 750 life at the end of turn, and then your opponent summon a Telemon. So now, with that Telemon, you think, oh, that's your opponent giving the advantage to your opponent. How the heck is this card even good? But the thing is, with all the way to counter Telemon, all the way to steal Telemon, all the way to remove Telemon and their board state at the field, this suddenly become one of the best card to build around. No joke. It's still a meme card at the end of the day, but to be honest, it's almost like not a meme card at this point anymore. And that being said, it goes here. Next, Mind Picks. Is a good card. I mean, let's say, to be honest here, 4 white, 3 yellow, 950, 900 HP, 500 pound. Let's draw a card, you yourself Robux stacks. This card overall looks okay. It's like something you would run, right? The thing is, every fucking yellow deck runs it. There is no deck that I have seen playing yellow good stuff, or any yellow deck format. Only, well, most any like mono yellow in the matters that made by good players that doesn't run mind picks. I don't like this card. It feels too sluggish for me. But I am rating this as subjective, objective as possible, and as such, I am forced to put this thing in S tier. Every fucking deck I see use this card. I don't like it, but I have to. That mind picks, like you look at this card, you think, oh, this is just yeah. But then again, it's when it works, it's very much work, and when it works, aka nearly every fucking times, it really do awards you with that. You can enjoy the good tier, the S tier. Next, don't. This card is buggy as hell. It's probably better than and there's also no reason to use it properly. So yeah, probably better than this. Than Modo. Then what is that card? Mo. Boarded Mo. Okay, next we have Mudit. So back in my days, Mudit was an amazing card. It had 1000 HP instead of this pathetic 600 HP. Now, people hate wipe, so that they nerf wipe, and Mudit counts as a wipe. And now he's shit. Sadly, he had lost most of his power. He's still very much a usable card, but due to the big nerf he received like 1 year ago or something, I just think he kind of lost his spot. But he's still viable. Like he's not like falling down too short or anything. But I'm pretty sure that Cat Saint Yebari is probably still better than him. So yeah, he's there. Doombringer. Huh, this card's so sad, man. Like, I don't know why they have to remove the 300 bread from him. Like, is 300 bread even that much? Like, look at Nicholas. Yeah. And I look at Mr. Doombringer, who costs 4 white, 4 red, aka a lot. That's a high threshold. 500 HP, 300 power, doing instead of show fighting with 150 less health. They're just sad. Like, it seriously needs a buff. It's bad. And I seriously consider just putting it in Dome. You know what? I'm gonna put it in Dome because it really doesn't deserve what the nerf it gets. And even then, why bother? There's so much better option in Doombringer. Just use something else, man. Don't. Okay, next we also have another card I should say is interesting. 2 white, 5 yellow, 5 yellow, 3 yellow, 3 blue. During your end step, destroy all fighters with no power. Cool. All fighters gain 100 power, and randomly you gain a yellow stud for 800 HP and 500 health. 800 HP and 500. This is an amazing stat card. Like, look at the stats. It's just such bollocks for a stat card. Like, also gen, and occasionally it will f you up, but most of the time you know what you're doing. This is a good card. That being said, oh, what the hell? No, I will gladly put him above the Tick Scott, under the Tick Scott, guess. Come on, he's a good card. It's not like the most precious thing Blox Card ever produced. Nah, that's probably true. Next, we have MSE6, a banned user probably. No, it's just an abusive user. Haha, funny. Okay, 4 white, 4 red, 6/6. Okay, stats. Not the best. It was not the worst thing in the world. Like we have a 2 like Ignis Mage costs 2 more white, and also is a 6/6. When it attacks and ensure another, your opponent summons the Innocent Man. Now, Innocent Man is a 2/2 that when it dies is a black card, so it doesn't generate. When it dies, all other Innocent Man and her and MSC6 gain 200 health and power. Pretty sure it's 200. Let me just check it real quick. MSE. Yeah, it says MSE. What the hell? Bro, that's bull. Yeah. Okay, 300 health and wow, that's a lot. Well, that's being said, she's instantly going to a good card. Mate, that's a lot. Yeah, she is hard to pull off, but then again, mostly skill shield, you don't get it now. Hey, that's a lot. Wow. But again, removal exists. Okay, put it on top viable. She's good. Next we have the limbs. So now I will rate all the limbs together. This year, this year, this year, and this year. So now, the limbs also have the purpose of making Shed a stronger card. Now Shed by himself is not good because he meant to be not good because you have to force to use limbs on him in order to make him good. What each form gives Shed each limb gives Shed a new forms. And I will rate the limbs according to that form. Also give him health and power. Now Shed is a good card, so all limbs will instantly become a good card. But how good are they? Probably gonna be the bottom of the good card because they're useless without any other substitute. So now let me just put them all up here and I will rearrange them. Green limb makes Shed a icon icon setter. Red limb makes Shed an unit, and the others okay. So let's just rate this real quick. In my opinion, Tyrannical is the best. One, because of the bread, the 200 AoE, and in turn the 200 burn, and the most importantly, the destroy immunity. All other limbs have no destroy immunity. Blue limb is return immunity. Green limb is swap immunity, which is probably the shittiest thing. And counter attack immune is cool, but it's not immune to damage or things like that. It just prevent getting attacked from counter. It's good, but it's not the best. Destroy immunity answer not the single, a lot of Shed hard civil bullets. Shed don't get damaged. He can't be damaged. He can't set. The only things left that him to should be immune to and probably always need to be immune to is destroy immune. That's why if I get 4 limbs on into my hand, enough icons to cash in and all 4 of them, I always cash Tyrannical last because destroy immune is very much the best thing that Shed could have. Unable to be counterattacked is honestly more useful than return immune and swap immune. And the ability of this card is just overall better. So that's wait. Okay. And the icon swap immune is arguably worse than return immune. But the icon set from the green form is just so hard to pass on that we just left with the worst limb, the blue limb. Sadly. Okay, next we have MZH 3000. In any other meta, I will put it yeah. Before Lobster was nerfed, I will put him in Dawn. But now Lobster was nerfed, it will be extend like an idiot. Most people like to extend like an idiot, and all of that combined with Boba, making MZH one of my all-inclusive card in this game. And with all of that, I put him in I overrating him, sure, but you should really give him a try. He's a good card. Next, we have Nerf Mooter. He used to be very overpowered and not overpowered. I still like he have a bit more power, like 600 power to be honest. But okay, I guess that. Now he can't kill your opponent like infinitely. That's 5 red, 1/1, 500. Your opponent 500 life. This is a catch-up card. It's pretty good at what it's trying to do as a catch-up card. And it's overall a pretty good card, but I can't really put him in the good card category because there's so much better option in it. So I'm gonna put him in the last. Actually, no. Yeah, I'm in the viable tier. Probably more viable than MSC. So yeah, he got that going for him. Next, I got Nevermore. This is a late game control troll card. So it's a 2 white, 10 red, 4. Yeah, it's a 10 red. Your opponent loses 800 life. Get yourself a copy of this card. It's just not necessary. It's not bad, but it's okay. It probably doesn't need buff if people hate burn. But for a card like this, it should really have a bit more punching power to it. And even then, reaching 10 red with red is like pretty hard. And even and when you get that, do you really like forcing yourself to try to use this thing to win? A 10 red, you're probably still gonna win with Stalker anyway. So don't force yourself to do like unnecessary things. Just use something else. That being said, though, it's probably a very good card in its own right. Is there? No need. Okay, next we have this guy. I'll read right next. Like yeah, it's right next. Okay, next is a 7 white, one yellow, 7/7. Okay stat because he gen white, so actually good stats. Because he do gen white by himself. One starts to draw the cards. Um, just so good. Like come on. There's never been a reason, like never been a good reason not to try to at least try to run him or experiment him in a mono yellow deck, and it's just so good, man. You even splash him, you care. Like, I wouldn't recommend you splashing him. Just use in mono yellow so you don't have the hassle. But yeah, next we got a good card here. Good. I mean, he's kind of dead now. We got new Fissy, one white, 5 yellow, 8/4. When it starts, got set gain 1,000 health, set its health value. Now, when it gains 2,500 health, this card was worth it. It was a tank. You can make something into a tank, or you can combo with the generate stuff. Now, though, no. It gaining 1,000 HP is not like that much of a deal, and for the stats cost ratio is not even like that good. It's just not worth it anymore. Like if I think the perfect spot, the sweet spot would be 1,500, but the chances of him getting rebuff is just so slow, so small. I just disappointed that people always want to over nerf cards, especially in this community. And I'm pretty sure Steve is also the one who pulled that nerf. Pretty sure that he also the one who pulled that fucking nerf. But then again, it should be 1,500 HP. 1,000 is a bit too low for me. I have nothing against Steve. He's a cool person. I just wondering why all of the good cards always get nerfed so badly. Ah, God. Yeah, just put him here. Yeah, I wouldn't say he's bad. He just really desperately needs buff. Okay, next, Nicholas. This card's amazing. Look at it. This is a 1 white 5 red spread 700 bread. Like, what do you not to love? Like, instantly 8 tier. Who fucking cares, man? This card's so good. Probably better than this. Probably better than that. But probably a little worse than Fat Bench. So, yeah. No, Lee, on the other hand, is technically a draw card in red. It's a search, but it's not that good. Like, No Lee is a pretty card, because for 6 red you got a really shitty stats. Like 6/5 is it's not even MSE stats. And then you get unspeakable summoning and 3 void cultists, which is cool, right? Yeah, it's cool. And you lose 1,000 life. This card just meh. Just there's decks that use it, but it's okay. It's probably the best okay card so far. So yeah. Now we got one what for me, that's how I call him, but his name is probably something different along those lines. It is what is this? Yeah, 1/4 auto 1/4 auto for me. 1,000 HP. Like, first of all, 3 white, 2 red for that stat, pretty cheap. Order to attack your opponent directly against your opponent's power. You hit face this thing, he become amazing. If you don't, he's still okay. And with that being said, he's a good card. I will gladly put him in better than Fabulous Match, but not as good in Michael P, because Michael P is funny. Next, we also got Overseer Beast. This is one of the must pick in Overseer deck. Like, the chance of you actually activating this so early on, it's just such huge, because overseers, there are the overseer stat and the overseer eye thingy, And then when you have the, because this is one of the rare overseer cards, actually costs only white. So you play this, you play the over instead, and then bam. As long as you get another 2 green fighters on the field, you can start summoning overseer beasts, and you're probably gonna start take over games. Granted, it put you in wipe range, but who fucking cares? And with that being said, he's a good card, and I'll put him in the high survival tier. Next we have Pet Dramnami. 5 white, 9-3, pretty good. Not good, okay. Gen White herself, so that's actually make her good. Orange card both play, gain 2 color stat, you gain 4 life. Same thing, play this when you're losing, doesn't matter. Play this when you're winning, somewhat matter, but still not like the worst thing in the world. You gain 4 life, she Gen White by herself. What you can expect more. Viable. Just like this is probably the best, the single most balanced card in this fucking game. To be honest. And then let's get Pencil Wizard. Right, where is she? Pencil Wizard. 4 white, 1 yellow, 5/4. 1 turn attack and destroy another. Summon a copy of this card with this effect. She's too slow. Like, just too slow. That's her name. Slow Wizard. If she was a bit cheaper, she would actually be a good card, but she's just too slow. She's viable. She is okay. Yeah, she's here. She's the best thing in the world, but granted, nothing should be the best. I'll put her there. Next, we got an underrated gem of Pilot Look. 3 white, 4 yellow, 3/3 haze, summon 2/3/2/2 pilot, ready all pilots. So now, you look at this guy, and people usually don't like Pilot Look. People usually ask why I play Pilot Look. People usually wonder why I even touch Pilot Look. Answer: the kill list. 3 + 2 + 2 is 700. The kill list also do 700 bread. This thing for A is easier 4 yellow gen, B 3 white, 2 more white, C even more spreaded bread, and D you can buff it because yellow is the AoE buff colors. He's very much underrated. I think people should try using him more. He's probably not. He should have just enough to be better than the limbs. I'll put him here gladly. Next player. 3 red, 5/4. Once to die, they'll fire in your hand, gain 100 power. What is it called? Red starter. Yeah, not red starter, but this is a solid red stat card. But it's probably like not the best. Like I've never seen anyone even touching it, Valor. So that being said, I put him there. Actually, yeah, put him here. Probably, he's an okay card. That should exist in any game like this. But then again, there's always substitutes. So yeah, like substitute like Pop Tart Noah. 6/4 when it's attacked, both players ready this card contact your opponent. This is a pretty decent card. Like it's not the best in the world, but it's pretty much a very decent of a card. Like it's a yeah, it's here. Yeah, oh yeah, what the fuck, man? Holy shit, it's even worse than wow. He's way worse than I thought. Yep, Pop Tart, he go there. Okay, so we have Presswig. Presswig's kill. He should at least have more. Like, I really much accept the fact that he go down to 700 power and get his 400 HP. Or heck, like there's no way you could balance Presswig. At 500 he has too much HP, but at 400 he still have a little too less HP. So what can you do to even like change Presswig? I don't know, but for now it's just like an 800 bread for 1 white and 5 yellow. That's that can be neglected with end-turn cards. So that being said, I think I will put him in OK tier. He's probably the best OK card so far, so we have that at least going for him. Okay, next. Oh my god, this card is so bad. This card is so bad. Prisman. 1 white, 3 red, So 6-5 looks like an amazing stat card. The 20 damage rate. Also kind of disguise, so it's a 4-5. Just why? Why would you ever use this piece of trash garbage? Probably the best piece of trash garbage, but it's not a good card by any means. And don't go to wiki and see this line and you're like, oh wow, that's true. Sure. That line is gone. Okay, well let's see. Game, not games. What the fuck? Right. Ashura, Prisman. Yeah, don't believe this line. It's not even a fun time. It's just pain. Ashura by yourself is not even that good. Just go to try. Next, we have Rockyu. Rockyu is cool. Chat card. He's a removal basically, if your opponent chooses to destroy this card, he will tank 2000 damage. And if your opponent decides not to, then, well, he will do 2000 damage. And if your opponent decides to stall it, then yes, they can stall, which is the best way to counter this card. But there's a few ways around it. First of all, you could transform this card, which is pretty obvious. Second of all, just play as a vanilla. It will absorb most of your opponent target, could be lock, could be things like that, and B, it's a threat. Although for pretty expensive price of 5-5, I think Rockyu is a pretty decent card by himself. So that being said, I will put Rockyu in the viable category. It's probably less viable than him. Yeah. And with that, I think I will end the tier list today. Have a few look back. I need to go do something. I'm gonna have next time. Enjoy the rest.